Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about community, because community, especially in the 21st century, has now splintered into so many different facets of life. There are so many forms of community, both in real life and online, and it's so interesting to be able to get a nice variety of community. I presume if you're anything like me, you've probably got a few different sets of friends, and you get slightly different things out of them. So you have some friends where you talk to about like maybe music, and you have some friends where you have a connection over politics, you have some friends where you have a connection over just like talking absolute dog beep. It's too early in the video to swear. So you just have different people that you do different things with. And that's part of the beauty of the human experience and the human connection, is being able to talk to different people about different things and forming various communities around various different things. So what I've noticed in life generally is you'll meet one person, and then that one person will introduce you to a few people, and then those people you get kind of close with, and then those people then introduce you to more people, and then so on and so forth and so forth. And that's the kind of way that you kind of imagine it, sort of like one of those Spiderweb sort of charts. If you're ever in some sort of like business training sort of day sort of thing, and they come up with like the spider chart, and they're like, all right everybody, let's name some things, and they name the first thing and it's in the middle, and then they have little offshoots going in all the little different directions, and those are your different friends, and those friends then lead to further offshoots and so on and so forth. And that's part of the fun of it, because you meet one person, they introduce you to a few people, and then they introduce you to a few people, and so on and so forth. You end up finding yourself in completely different communities just from the ability to talk to various people. And if I could do anything to encourage you, it's just to talk to as many different people as you can. Get insights into different ways of life and different types of people. There's some people that I talk to about like much more sort of nerdy, like analytical sort of stuff, and there's some people where I don't do that and I do other things. And there's, that's part of the ebb and flow of sort of talking to various people. It's very important to have different people to suit your different needs, because that's kind of what happens throughout the workings of the social sort of connection and that kind of thing. So with regards to this sort of Johnny Mozer YouTube channel thing, right, I've noticed a bit of a community starting to form. I think a couple of people have actually been working on making a Discord for it, which I'm very excited for. I'm very excited to be part of a Discord little community, and maybe we can use it as a chance for various creators to kind of come together, spitball some ideas with one another. Maybe people go like, what do you think of a video about, I don't know, personal growth? Or what do you think about a video about this show that I've been watching a lot lately, or whatever, and people spitball ideas back and forth, or maybe just have a bit of fun with one another, just talk some bollocks, Apologies. So that kind of thing is fun, and that's a new community that is being formed as we speak, and that community can then lead you to another community. Because say you join the Discord, this is just dreaming at this point, but say you join the Discord, we have a bit of a conversation, and then you find one person that you really hit it off with, and you start talking to them a lot, and then you kind of start talking to more people through that person, and so on and so forth, because that is exactly what happens. It's just this constant offshoot of various communities. That is, I know I've said that about 5 times now in the video, but that is just the single most important point that I can really stress for this video, is that the more people you talk to, the more people you will find because of the people that you talk to. And the more people that you talk to, the more communities you will find yourself a part of. Even if you talk to someone and you find you don't really have anything in common with them, you don't have to meet them again. You can go past if you want. And everything that kind of ends up happening with that first person, if you don't find the connection with them, you kind of go your own separate ways, and then you find another person. Oh, this one you kind of hit off a little bit better. And then, oh, no, turns out that one didn't really work out. Turns out like maybe you only had like a couple sort of days where you really enjoyed sort of each other's company, and then you kind of realise, they're kind of a pain in the ass. And then that's all part of the human connection, because you will eventually find someone that you just really hit it off with, and they become like one of your best friends, and then that ends up sending you down this little rabbit hole of their little friends, and they end up getting sent down your little rabbit hole of friends. Or different things will happen. You'll end up in different positions with different groups of people. Some people will be a bit more like this, some people will be a bit more like that, and it's essentially rounding out your own personality, because you are essentially just an amalgamation of everyone that you hang out with. at the end of the day, I mean, we're all obviously individual and we all obviously have influence over the other people in the same sort of way, but other people in turn have influence over us and our personalities and our brains and stuff like that. And you'll end up sort of being a different way around different people, and that's kind of the fun of it, because it's all variations of the real you, and that's part of the magic of being a human being. Pretty much, it's just fun to go and talk to people and see what's going on. Even if you're an introvert like me, like I get a little bit drained from like constant communication with people, and it's still kind of fun though, because it's you have fun retrospectively, because you look back on those experiences and you're like, oh fucking hell, that was a really fun time. I mean, I bet the best day of your life involved someone else, at least one other person, maybe multiple other people. I bet the best day of your life wasn't had solo. Like, it wasn't the sort of day where you sat in bed and watched Peep Show all day. You know, those are certainly fun days, and you need those sort of days to recalibrate your own brain and to get back into the groove of things. But it's not the ultimate peak of life. The ultimate peak of life inherently involves other people, because we are a social species. You know, we're not like, you might see snails or slugs or certain things like that. We're not like that. We're more like ants, in that we have this sort of colony that kind of comes together and connects over certain things. And that's just fun. It's just fun to talk to people and find things. And like for this film, Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, been finding so many new great people to talk to who are becoming some of my best friends. And that's just amazing, because what happens is, if you embrace yourself, other people will like you for you, rather than if you try and put out some kind of image of yourself of what you think people want to see. That's not really what they want to see. They don't care about that. They're not interested in like the projection of you. They're interested in the real you. Even if you feel like maybe they're not, that's just not true. They are interested in the real you. And when you start projecting the real you and trying to push back some of the anxieties and the catastrophizing sort of behaviors that might happen in your head the way that they might happen in mine, you start to notice that other people will start coming along for your ride, and you'll also open yourself up to coming along with their ride. And that's just part of the fun of it. That's part of the fun of being human. And I think with regards to community, you can make your own. You can just make your own community. Like, maybe you don't, not through this method of just starting a YouTube channel and just accidentally falling into something that does quite well and finding loads of people that have a connection with it, but maybe you join your local open mic scene. Maybe you join, like, I don't know, your local D&D thing at your library. Maybe you go to local events and stuff like that. Maybe you just start hanging out with the people at your workplace and just start having more fun conversations with them. Maybe you get invited to a house party you're selling and you're like, well, I don't really know them that well. It's like, would it be a bit awkward if I go? Just go. If it's awkward, who the fuck cares? It'll be forgotten about in a month. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. None of these things that worry you in the head actually really matter at the end of the day, because people care about the real version of you. That's what they want to see, because that's a good positive trait. Someone who is comfortable in their own skin, and someone who is truly, it feels like they are themselves and they're not putting on an image for you. Because that way, it makes it feel like you can trust that person a lot more easily, because they are just showing you their vulnerable side, I suppose. That's kind of the thing. Thank you. Someone just walked behind the camera. So yeah, it's instead of walking right in front of it, which I like when they do that. Thank you very much. You have a good day. And yeah, I feel like with regards to making your own community, it's entirely possible, even if you're an introvert. Like, I know you probably don't believe it, because I do 2 videos a day where I just yak, but I am actually an introvert. I'm not someone who feeds off of social communications. And I actually kind of believe that the extrovert-introvert thing is a bit of bollocks anyway. It's not really real. Everyone's kind of somewhere in the middle, you know? And, you know, we all have the bad sides to us. We all have some bad days. We all have good days. We all have days where it feels like the world's coming to an end, and we have days where it feels like the world is just fucking beginning. And that's cool. That's fun. Life is pretty fun when you allow it to be. And I know, like, you know, there's so many sort of mental health sort of issues that go around now, and they always were there, but now we actually have this openness to actually talk about them. And it is certainly a hurdle to overcome. And, you know, I've been in times where it feels like I don't want to leave the house, I don't want to talk to new people, I just want to stay inside and just rot. But if you do that, you're going to end up less happy as a result, and it's a self-feeding kind of thing where because you're not getting out there and talking to new people, you get a little bit sadder and a bit more isolated. And because you're a bit sadder and a bit more isolated, less people end up hanging out with you. And so you become more self-isolated and more unhappy. And that just feeds into itself again and again and again. That causes the spiral. So to avoid that, just say yes to stuff. Just go out there, just try things, just do whatever comes to mind, take risks, go nuts. Because even if you make some stupid mistakes, you're not actually going to regret them. They'll become a bit of an embarrassing story, but you'll be glad at the end of the day that it kind of happened, because that ended up making you the person that you become down the line. Like, I've made some stupid mistakes in my life, but I don't regret any of them, you know? I mean, if I could go back, if I could go back and just sort of say to my previous self, hey, don't do that, you're going to be a bit of a knobhead doing that. My previous self would probably end up doing it anyway, and it would be fine, because you need the mistakes in order to get to the good things, because we're all just this walking stack of broken CDs at the end of the day. We all have flaws, we all have bits where we skip a track, we all have like those ones where it's like a pirate CD with just like, it's been put in felt tip on the CD. You know, none of us are perfect, and anyone who pretends that they are is lying, and that shows that they are imperfect. So, a bit paradoxical, that. So, yeah, even your heroes are imperfect. Everyone's imperfect, and that's fine. That's good. It's nice that we're all imperfect, because it makes it all a little bit less big, and it makes us feel like we're real human beings in this real world with other people that are just like us. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Hope everything's going well for you. I hope if you're getting invited, it's a Saturday night, so if you're getting invited to a house party and you're feeling like, oh, I want to stay in, I'm tired or whatever, well, make your mind up. If they're people that you like, go hang out with them. If you don't, then don't. You know, it's your own person at the end of the day. But I would recommend going along, seeing what it's like. Even if you think, oh, I'm just going to leave at like maybe 11. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll end up staying there till 2 in the morning and you'll have a hell of a time. Who knows? Anyway, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.